Okay gang, this is just a little review video about The Masked Singer Season 7 and what I felt was good about the season and what was bad and what they could do better next time. There is only one place to start, and that's talking about how amazing the outfits were this season. From Yak to Teabag, Toasty to Disc Jockey. They were all great, and the folks over at Plunge Creations do a great job every year, creating the most bonkers outfits and characters other countries haven't done. My only complaint is that I sort of miss the big characters like Monster, Octopus, and Blob, and I want to see more big things, so celebs can hide in them, because most of the characters are just solo standing outfits, if that makes sense. Let's move on to the judges. I personally believe they have given up. Davina alone guessed Lord Sugar, Sean Bean, Rami Malek and Jason Momoa this season. Now I'm not expecting them to get them all right because the game is very hard. But let's use some common sense and try to focus on people who normally do reality TV and who ITV can afford. Sometimes it baffles me how they even get to some of these names sometimes. I personally believe the panel needs a musical ear, whether that be a DJ or a singer, because these four don't work well together and are all over the place when it is a very obvious voice, and the panel end up suggesting strange names that aren't even close to the final answer. Also, Davina needs to calm down and stop shouting over all the songs, because when I'm listening to them back on my playlist, all I can hear is Davina shouting the character's name. Also, no one scored more than 2 this season. My Mom Got Toasty and Moth by voice alone. Now, I was very disappointed when the class of 2026 didn't sing a normal group performance like in previous years. Yes, they sort of sang in Goldfish song during the chorus, but I like when they sing line by line. I also didn't like the final face-off. I do sort of like the changes. It is always good to get some new songs on the show, but I didn't like that Moth was halfway through the song, coming up to the big bit, then it just stopped and Conkers came on and did the same. I would have rather had them sing their full song through. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but I felt it didn't work. The clues are all over the place. They are like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. For example, Conkers said, "I'll be there for you." Now you need to know this is from the Rembrandt song of the same name, which is used for the main theme to the show Friends. You then need to know that Ben Shepherd had a cameo on Friends as a man with a microphone. It's completely bizarre. Another one for Sloth, he said of Limber up to that Nicki Minaj song. So you need to know Nicki Minaj songs, then pick the right one, being Anaconda. Then you need to know it is an adventure race in Australia. Then you need to know Ben Fogle raced it one time. It is completely bonkers to even think of that as a clue, but here we are. The clues should be about the celeb themselves, but it seems the writers are writing them adjacent to the celebs. I don't mind them being hard, but let's focus on what the celebs have done and not what Dua Lipa wore once at Glastonbury. Oh, and don't forget they also included clue answers for clues that didn't even appear in Teabag's first and only performance. It is just a sloppy editing job, and I don't even know how that got past people. Surely you want the clues to make sense and give the correct answers, but including answers to things that were never said makes no sense. Now let's talk about episode 5's results. How did Monkey get the least amount of votes when she had the best performance of the night? It didn't make sense, and I don't know how the audience didn't back her. But the real killer is how Fox lost to Red Panda. Why did the judges save Red Panda when Fox was the better singer? It just didn't make sense to me and a lot of many other people. The show needs to decide whether it is a best singer show or the best hiding yourself show, because it can't be both, because it is destroying it. Now, I was very disappointed that they removed the riddle clues from round 1 and the clue songs from episode 5, because the clues are already hard enough and removing more only makes it harder and allows the show to say whatever they want is the correct answer. It turns off the casual viewer because the clues are too hard to figure out in a 90-minute time slot. Now, during episode 4, someone decided to upload the Unmasked show half an hour early and therefore spoiled who was unmasked. It was disappointed to find out this way, and clearly someone wanted to go home early. The socials aren't the same as they were in previous years, as they don't really upload on Twitter these days. I was also very disappointed that they edited out Red Panda from round 1 because of a real-world event that took place in a different country. Look, I get it, it was poorly timed with the Swiss fire, but for 90 minutes can't we just forget the real world and just have a little fun? And I felt this really ruined Red Panda because he really threw his voice in the song compared to his other performances. I just don't like the news affecting entertainment shows because it means we have lost what we can watch and it is affected on what other people report. Now let's talk about Goldfish and Emperor Penguin. While I admire what they were trying to do, it all felt a bit rushed as there were only like 2 or 3 clues for them and they were unmasked after 20 minutes or so. While I admired their performances, I would have just liked them to perform first with a clue package, then let the normal acts perform, then unmask the guests, then do the normal unmasking. So now let's talk about Mole. He finally appeared in episode 5 and only acted as a clue mask as he gave out some extra clues during the clue packages, but the thing I want to talk about is that at the end of the episode Joel said to look online and on TV for clues about Mole's identity. Okay, that sounds like a good idea, but it turns out they didn't do that and there were no clues online or on the TV during ad breaks until Friday daytime when all the kids are at school. So why would Joel say this? Well, I had an idea. There was a post a few weeks prior that was asking for content creators. I can only assume they didn't get enough big characters to promote the clues and decided to scrap the whole thing. Which is a shame because I did put my name forward but no one got back in touch. Mole then returned in episode 6 and was unmasked straight away. He didn't even sing and it turns out it was Ollie Murs. Why wouldn't they get that big name to at least sing once? It was a missed opportunity and a complete waste of time, to be honest. So what would I change? I would firstly change the format, increase the show from 8 episodes to 10 episodes. This will allow them to include wildcards and still have enough time without everything feeling like a big rush job. So round 1 would be normal with 6 performing and bottom 2 will go to the judges to decide who goes home. Round 2 would also be normal with 5 performing a theme and then the bottom 2 go into a sing-off. Then round 3 would be the same as round 2 but with a wildcard, so there will be 5 performing still, then the bottom 2 will go into another sing-off. Round 4 would be top 8 and will have the clue songs back. It will be a double elimination this time with 8th and 7th being unmasked straight away. Then round 5 would be top 7 as it will include a new wildcard. There will be a bottom 3 and 7th unmasked straight away while the other 2 go to the judges for a vote. Round 6 would be normal, where it would be top 5 singing once, then 5th gets unmasked, then top 4 sing again, then 4th gets unmasked. Round 7 would be the finale, where the top 3 sing once, then they duet with former characters. Then 3rd gets unmasked, then the top 2 sing their favorite song of the series, then the winner gets announced. Also, some episode lengths need to change because some earlier episodes where there is only 6 songs and 1 unmasking in 90 minutes is very slow and full of filler compared to later episodes where there are 9 songs and 2 unmaskings, where it feels action-packed. So maybe the lengths of the episodes can change, like earlier episodes could be 60 minutes where it is 2 songs apart then an unmasking part. This will make it feel action-packed and fast-paced and better overall. So who would I like to see on the next season? Well, this is who I would cast if I was in charge. I chose this list for a range of characters and singing styles and what they would bring to the table. First, I would cast the athletes. These are always great fun to have on the show, and I would personally cast Frank Bruno and Roger Black. Bruno because he loves singing and Black because he has done other reality shows like Strictly and Stars in Their Eyes, and they seem to reuse celebs from other reality shows. Bruno has never done a reality show to my knowledge, so it would be great to see him here. Next, I would cast the comic and the actor. It's always great to have comics and actors on who can sing, so I would choose Adrian Lester and Aisling B.A. They both have musical backgrounds and it would be interesting to see what they bring to the table. Next, I would cast the repeat characters. For this case, I have picked LaToya Jackson and Paul Potts. They did really great on other versions of the show and it would be nice to see them on the UK show, especially Potts because we haven't really seen him since his win of Britain's Got Talent all those years ago. Next, I would choose the singers that have done other reality TV shows that I would love to see do The Masked Singer. For this cast, I have selected Frankie Bridge, Cheryl Baker, Gareth Gates, Samantha Mumba, and Martin Fry. I think it's a good mix of ages and styles and what they can bring to the show and showcase their vocals. Finally, I would cast a group because groups are nice on this show and their hammeries can amazing. The only group I can think of is Bananarama, whether that be the 3 original girls or just the current 2. It would be nice to have them on the show. It could be obvious, but I don't care. We don't get many groups on this show compared to other versions, so it would be nice to have another one in season 8. In conclusion, season 7 was okay, but it could have been better if the right acts got through and the singers were performing at their best. Not to take away from Moth's victory because she was great, but I just felt Toasty should have won and some characters should have left earlier and some characters should have stayed longer, but that's how the cookie crumbles and how the audience votes. So hopefully in season 8 we get back to basics and hopefully we get great performance after great performance. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this review. What was your thoughts of season 7 of The Masked Singer UK?